Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to F1 Manager. This is episode 77. Jack Doohan has leveled up. He's the first one to hit 80, but I do think Pourchaire is getting closer. I'd say our ratio of upgrade points right now is every 3 races. Pourchaire gets a point almost every single race. Doohan, though, is only getting about 2 points every 3 races. He's a little bit slower in terms of the rate, and so we're doing still just inches ahead in that overall first one to hit 80. I do believe Pourchaire is going to hit 80 very soon in the next race or two, and then maybe by 81 Pourchaire could be the first one to hit it, or they'll hit it right about the same time. So that overtake between the two in terms of overall quality is happening soon, and then hopefully the mistake ridden Doohan hopefully will be beyond that point soon. Like I said last race, I do believe that it might be something to do with some sort of coded rookie thing. You're a rookie, you're more error prone, but once you've got a half season or so, or 10 races or so under your belt, you stop making rookie mistakes, and then it just follows your normal pattern, because he's a good driver. 80 to 85 in everything. The accuracy, the control, the pace, it's all there. The overtaking, defending, and adaptability don't matter for crashes. He's got Albon level things. He's got Pourchaire level things, and yet he is making big mistakes every other race. What I am doing, though, now that I've got the 80 plus in each of these areas for both drivers, is I'm trying to get everything up to an 85, and I decided I'm going to start with braking. Here's why. So cornering, it reduces the chance of them running wide or spinning. We almost never spin in this game. It's super, super rare that somebody spins out. Running wide does happen a fair bit, but when you run wide, a lot of the time they're only losing a fraction of a second, or they tuck back in at the tail end of a group. That does hurt, but you continue on. Braking without running wide. So again, same mistake. It could be from either one, or causing racing incidents. And then you have reactions. Pull away faster when the lights go out at the start of the race, and accelerate faster out of corners. That one has no on-track implications other than your pace. These two do. And running wide hurts, but the causing racing incidents, the braking issue, is the bigger. That's the DNF one. That's the you wiping out another car, or doing what Doohan did at Baku, which is locking up and then going straight into the wall. The braking incidents are the bigger issue, so I'm going to push that to an 85 first for both drivers. I just got notice that the hospitality area has dropped in condition. However, as we have 29 million, I am going to go ahead and finally spend the money. We finally have the money, and I'm going to save that, recover it later, because we need 27 million to upgrade the wind tunnel, and this is what's really, really holding us back. It's going to take 121 days, so it's 4 months to get this done, but it'll get done, and you can see just what a difference it's going to make from where we're at right now, which is down because the level is dropped, but we're not spending 8 million to get that recovered. What do you get it back to? 0.035, or go all the way up to 0.044, which is damn near double what we're getting impact wise right now. So the transition from the end of this season into the next season with the upgraded wind tunnel at the highest level, and hopefully with everything else in decent shape by that point, it's going to be huge for next year's car development. Canada is up next. Last year we finished 6th and 7th, way behind. We were 17 seconds back of Lando Norris last time, and we were just at the front of a group of cars. So we came in 1-2 in a train of quite a few cars. Ricardo was a little bit off the back of that, but there was 5 cars in that train. So pace wise, it really wasn't there. This was not our race last season. Let's see if we can do better this time. We're definitely going to need it if we are going to get kind of back on track, as Azerbaijan was not a great race for us.
Formula One is back in Montreal. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium.
And we head out into Q1 with 3 cars pulling out in front of us, guaranteed to impact our laps. You can see Pourchaire is nearly 7/10ths down just compared to Doohan, and I'm almost certain that both of them would have been impacted by this. So we need to get back out there and head out for a second lap to try to get things right, with Leclerc this time being slightly in the way, and only Leclerc. It looks like Pourchaire is going to avoid Leclerc being a problem. Doohan, it was definitely an issue for him. And we're still at the tail end. So we're still at the tail end after that one. And we're going to have to do our 3rd lap on this set to make sure we get out of the session. And this late, we're going to have to just do it. It's too risky. Too risky. There's a good chance we're getting knocked out in Q1 if we don't go out on a fresh set. That sucks. That really sucks. So with the fresh set, presumably we will be just fine on times 15th and 19th entering the lap. And they don't improve. We just straight up have no pace. Practice, right? With practice, This one's on me, folks. This one is completely on me. 100%. Practice. We're always off the pace because I run the horribly, badly used components. We see our pace in qualifying when we put on the fresh ones. I didn't swap it. We're going to be starting from the back already. So this is the perfect opportunity to make this be the race where we spend the money. And I don't know what money we have left. We just made a major upgrade. I was already thinking about doing it for one of them this race. Damn. Bad timing for me to have a Ferrari moment, as in making a strategic blunder, because that's exactly what we've done here. This 100% on me. But now I don't know if we have enough cash to get things going. We'll start with Pourchaire, as he's starting from P20, and swap out what we can. He's in worse shape anyway on the components because of that accident that he had a few races back. He needs it already anyway. There's that confirmation and just how bad it was. Just how horrible it was. I think we could get away with swapping out for the race for Doohan. Wasn't quite as bad for Doohan, as we had a decent gearbox in there, as his first gearbox, his practice gearbox, retired. I retired his first gearbox, so we were just starting to use the second gearbox, which you could see is still in decent shape, and the ERS is still in decent shape. It's the engine that was hurting him. He still has a couple left that are okay, tolerable. Like, if we can swap that one out without taking any additional penalty and without the cash, we can only afford to do one guy. So Doohan, well, for him it just sucks, but that engine shouldn't have hurt him that bad that he missed Q2. He should have still been able to make Q2 with the components that he had, assuming that we do have decent pace here, but maybe we don't. Weekend's been dry entirely so far, but we are in for a wet race and what could be a wild ride. We'll see if I'm making the right call on this one. I do think mediums are a great call to start this race. Those who start on the softs, good luck to them. And there may be a few number of cars that do. They're going to be well behind. They'll have a little extra pace, obviously, early on, but that pit stop's going to really, really set them off, because they'll be, pitting in the late teens, and the rain comes in somewhere around lap 25. Mediums are good for about lap 26. So for those who do opt for it, should easily make it to that point. But then the big question, the roll of the dice, is whether that is full wet conditions. If it holds up, if it goes to just below it, then we're great for intermediates for about 15, 16 laps. And then we're definitely looking at full wet conditions from there. I mean, that's obvious. That's massive rain. That is a super, super wet track. But then it's going to dry out pretty rapidly. For that rapid dry out, there is definitely no transition of wet to intermediates. That's wet to the soft compound. And the soft compound coming somewhere around lap 61 or 62, you would think. Softs to the end. But that also means super aggressive on the intermediates, on the wets, and on the softs to the end of the race, and just a normal, regular cruising stint on mediums before that. So we're going to be more aggressive trying to make our way through the field today. Starting from P17 and P20, that part sucks. That's our worst start in a long time. And like I said a moment ago, that is entirely on me. Let's see if we can make up for it with a good race.
The drivers have now taken position on the grid, and it's looking like a cloudy day. Looking now at the Williams. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. And looking at the second Williams car. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. Will their hard work pay off today? The drivers are ready and raring to go. It's the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
For the second race in a row, the Alpine looks very competitive, getting up around that second, third row, and competing with the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. Ferrari also starting to look really quick after a bit of a slow start to the season. So those are those next two teams, 5th and 6th team. We've got a really, really competitive field here. Pourchaire already up one spot as he gets around the Haas, and Dewitt also looking to make a move on the Haas himself, and he's got the inside. He should be able to complete it here, and does. He's up to P17, and we're not even pushing at this point. I mean, this is just regular driving. We're light by one lap, but that's it. This phase, we're going to want to recover a little bit of that. We easily have the pace to beat the Haas. Pourchaire from P19. Let's go ahead and go aggressive for a little bit so he can get up and challenge on the straight. It's another one that should be an easy overtake for us after we come out of the hairpin, or as we come up on the hairpin anyway. There you go. We'll want to set up the overtake and be aggressive and see if we can close up on that Haas and challenge. We won't here on the back straight, but maybe the secondary straight after the Wall of Champions. We will have enough of a push, enough of a oomph. Ocon struggling also, Sonoda all over the back of him. We'd like to get around these two as soon as possible. And after we get through this chicane, I'd love to be able to continue on here with Dewitt and make the overtake.
Let's reduce lifting close.
Double wide though.
Copy.
No space. No space. Sector 2, yellow. Somebody. It's Pourchaire. It's Pourchaire. Of course it is. He's not pushing. He makes the mistake. There's one overtake. We'll continue on with Dewitt here. Pourchaire. I made the first mistake, but he's already... That would have put him in last place. With a lockup there, that would have already put him to last place, so... I don't feel as bad now. He would have put himself down to last entirely on his own. Around Ocon, into that gap. We'll be up on Stroll here in a moment.
Nice work.
Balanced. Back to Pourchaire. Pourchaire, 3 seconds behind. Oh boy. He's got some ground to cover. He'll cover that ground, but by the time he gets back up there, that field is going to stretch out a bit more. And Dewitt challenging for yet another position. That is up beside the Aston Martin. Let's go aggressive. Let's go with the overtake, and we tuck back in, but we're still close. All right, we're gonna have to harvest now. But hey, that's good. We're up to 14th.
It's a stonking lap.
Copy.
We do have pace. We do have pace. I'd say how much better would it have been with the right engine, but for Dewitt, it's all he was missing was the right engine, and it's clearly going to be down on power in the 30s, but it shouldn't have been that bad. He should have made Q2. He wouldn't have made Q3, but he should have made Q2 with the components he had in there. Pourchaire had 3 components all in very bad shape. Dewitt had 1. And it wasn't awful, it was just bad. Should have had enough power. Should have had enough pace. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. We're gonna start to close things back up through here. Back to neutral. Battery's half filled. But now he's gonna close things up on his own on Albon. Without the DRS. By the way, he's the only one out of DRS range besides Schumacher and Latifi, and then of course Pourchaire, who's down to 2.5 seconds back. So both of these guys have some catching up to do. Let's let that process happen here for a bit. Lap 7. And Pourchaire also within DRS range at the back end. So both of them are back in for a race. So with Pourchaire, let's go ahead and go aggressive and overtake and push. We need to get ahead of these two and start making up some ground. But then they go and challenge each other, and then we tuck in. We intentionally lifted there, afraid to get up beside the Haas when there was already two guys battling it out. Though we could have gone 3 wide and really had both of them. Finally, under braking, we'll get up the inside and then immediately start to challenge with Schumacher, who's on the softs, by the way. It should be a sit and duck, but then we make a bad run into
just gained by Williams.
From full battery to nothing in 1 lap. We are going to get the overtake done here. All right, back to balanced, back to standard. Close it up naturally. All right, Dewin, 14th, close in on Albon and ahead of those guys. So 2.8 seconds for Pourchaire to the next grouping. Just for a bit. Somehow Sonoda from nearly 2 seconds back is now 9/10. So go neutral. Looking to the inside. We do get up beside him. But we tuck back in. It was only just enough to get our front wheels up beside his rear wheels. But here's another zone potential for the pass. Perez leads from Verstappen, Gasly, Leclerc, Zhou as we go past now. And Vettel is heading up this train, which is now 3.5 seconds back. And we are through. So back to standard, back to neutral. And again, the battery has decreased rapidly. That's Dewin overtaking Albon. That guy who used to sit in this very seat. That rain's going to be getting close. We should be getting a warning about it soon. Pourchaire back into 19th. Then let's harvest.
From Williams.
Just went around Schumacher. Softs starting to taper off, I'm guessing. That or just no DRS is no DRS. Alright, back to neutral. With a little bit of battery charged up. That's nice. 3 seconds back of the guys in front, but that's Ocon now, almost 5 seconds behind. So that's just Ocon that we are chasing. And then DRS, Pourchaire, just like that, loses a spot. He recovers it, and he's closing up on Ocon, but Dewin slowly making his way through. 20 laps in, and the fuel's still at 1.5. Where did we start? 1.8, something like that. We have pushed multiple times though. Did it start at 1.6? If that's the case, we're not really recovering anything, but again, we are driving aggressive, so that is bound to be the case. As a helicopter goes directly over my head, and I feel the shake of that one.
Haas with an overtake there.
55, 58.
And a new position. Just gained by Williams.
Zhou. Those guys should be pitting any moment, and if they're hanging on, they're going to be well off pace. If they do try to hang on, going backwards pretty quick. Right about now, especially in the case of Zhou, he's going to be well off pace. Schumacher somehow at 50%, hanging on pretty well.
Further rain expected.
Albon's at 46. Now we're getting the warning about rain. Ocon's lost another second, and we're closing right up on him. Hopefully we'll get up soon enough and get that DRS and blow by him. That'll at least give us back a little something, but Pourchaire's mistake has cost him dearly. I mean, you can see just how far back he is from Dewin. 2 minutes till the rain comes. We can go aggressive. Verstappen with the lockup. And he is down to 9th. Down to 9th is where he recovers and gets back on track. having lost the front group, which is now a train of 8 instead of 9. And here is the rain beginning. Pit to lap. Lap to pit! Ugh. Another car has spun. Somebody has spun already. 0.5 millimeter worth of rain. Looks like this is going to be it. Nor for now, but this is, yeah, already 0.7. It's coming on pretty fast. Now, the only good news here is we do have 2 cars spread out enough to, okay, 0.99. Dang, we could have pit. We could have pit with Porsche. Some cars are going to continue on another lap, though, so this is going to be good. Some cars are going to avoid the double stack.
Register lift and co.
2.664, and we sit more. We sit more. We sit some more. Wow, we just sat for 8 seconds. 9 seconds behind anybody else. Did he spin? Full wets. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Everybody went intermediates, but yeah, this is full wets, which is not going to be good for us. I didn't expect it to go full. It's full wets already. It's the intermediates that it's barely going to dip below. We need to get in. We need to get in right away. Now, the good news is that nobody got this call right, but these guys that are pitting, they're going to be off pace this lap. All right, we're making the switch to full wets. Let's see how much more pace we have. We're already at the back. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose from this one. Again doing stuck sitting, and then Porsche was stuck sitting behind him waiting to get in, and now Porsche's stuck waiting. Gosh, man. All right, we are the only ones on the wets. Only ones. Okay, now these can go a long while on being aggressive. That cannot, though.
Let's reduce.
All right, we're back down to P17 and P20. We clearly have more pace. Clearly. Okay, there's a huge gap from Ocon if we can get around him, but he keeps blocking.
To use the overtake.
There we go. There we go.
Check the DRS.
All right, we got to harvest.
That's good. That's good.
We're going to go neutral, and then we will go aggressive.
Vettel has just
okay,
pitted.
Now, checking on Porsche. Vettel pits. Guessing he's going to come back out on the full wets. Multiple cars have crashed. Multiple cars have crashed ahead of us. Sonoda and Norris have crashed. But we are now on the right compound for later and not going to have to pit. We know it's going to go full wet and the field's nice and bunched up. How bad will our pace be, though, when things resume?
Set the car in this lap. Set the car in this lap.
Battery's charged. Fuel's good. That's all nice.
Haas?
Latifi overtakes Porsche. Magnussen has pit and put on the full wets. Down to 2.5. Our main thing right now is not getting too far down, as we are expecting more heavy rain. How soon is it coming? And 3 laps. 3 laps we have to hang on and not lose too much time. It's taken way too long. Magnussen's the only other one back there with us. Here's the heavy rain. It came later than it was supposed to.
Low fuel, so be mindful.
By a lap or two, and we lost a lot of ground, and we're still not up to it. We rolled the dice, but now it's the 4.0. Here comes the first wave of pits. They're all way back out there before we ever get going again. All right, folks. 2 mistakes now today. 2 mistakes. That safety car, I should have switched back to the intermediates, and not our day. Not our day. Then again, we got two guys. You know what? Pourchaire's gonna try it. Pourchaire's gonna try it. Might as well mix it up. So Pourchaire into the pits. At least we're not gonna get held up this time. That was the other thing that really hurt. I mean, we lost 15, 20 seconds waiting for other cars. Doing past the wall of champions just after we came around the hairpin. So we're about a straight behind him. We'll see how we get closer. What's the interval like? 15.5 seconds behind. From just behind. So right now it's 15 seconds down from where we were. That's a lot of ground to cover in a handful of laps. Down to 11. Down to 10. Pourchaire's pulling it back fast, isn't he? He's pulling it back fast. This might actually work out. I think Pourchaire is going to gain more than he lost by pitting. He's going to gain more than he lost. Doohan's fuel is neutral. Tires are severely overheating, but I'm not worried about that. Push on. He, by the way, is closing up on Magnussen finally. Slowly. But Pourchaire's already just 2.5 seconds behind Doohan. There you go. Out of the way and on by with 2 millimeters left. So there's still a full millimeter worth of drawing left to go. And Pourchaire has already recovered his position and then some.
And a new position just gained by Williams.
Well, let's go. Come on. Get him. Ugh. Switch back. Still can't do it. Man, this is taking almost half a lap. 1.44. Gotta keep a close eye on this one and the rate. 1.44 at the time that we cross the line. It's already down to 1. This is the lap, I think. This is the lap. 1.35. Through about one sector, it's gone from 1.44 down to 1.28, which means, yes, this is the lap. This is the lap you want to make the switch. Definitely the lap. Get up. Get past. Oh, come on, not again. How Ocon is the master of just blocking us today. It's 1.10. It's going to very, very soon drop below that 1.0. So we are going to get a lap ahead of everybody else being on the dry compound. 1.05. 1.04. We'll be one lap ahead of everybody, so that's beautiful. Okay, Doohan entering the pits. Look how far ahead Pourchaire is. I mean, that worked out. I'm so glad we decided to do it. Track is now dry. So as we come back out, the track is now dry, and we want to attack the rest of the way. And look at that. Pourchaire is still in P13. Had a car just beside us there, but we do eventually get ahead of him. We kind of hesitated on the exit. Doohan coming back out. Back down in last, though. Six seconds, 5.5 seconds gain on this lap. Now coming up on 6 seconds. That one lap as most everybody else pits, but 5 cars stayed out. 5 cars have stayed out so far, and Pourchaire is back in the mix. 4 points. Just behind a group ahead of him. Alright, we're going to go aggressive. Let's let the compound not totally die out. Have pace, but not be crazy about it. Pourchaire, let's get 1/10.
Okay, we want to increase lift and coast.
Now, Doohan does have battery. Pourchaire does not. And Pourchaire, we're going to be looking to catch up. Now that front group, and they lost pace because they stayed out. Fastest lap, Pourchaire. Bottas comes out ahead. So we stay P11. We're not going to get back into the points. Darn. But 2 big mistakes really hurt. Doohan, new fastest lap. We will challenge Bottas and Albon, but that's only P9. That's not points. At least Gasly, at least it's an Alpine leading this race. And Russell. So only Leclerc of our competitors for the championship, only Leclerc in the top 4. Signs of Verstappen, 5th and 6th is not bad. Bottas, McLaren's got nothing in the points. But at least there's that. We are now less than a second. We are closing up on those guys.
With fuel.
Both cars at negative but 0. Almost 3 wide. And we get to the inside of both. We're up to P9. Great overtake. Great overtake there. Back to neutral.
Looks like
And we'll
a good
continue
move
on.
for
2
Williams.
seconds behind those in front of us. It's not over yet on the points, but man, oh man, that's going to be hard with just less than 5 laps to go. Doohan, meanwhile, is 2.6 back of that group and not been able to catch him. He does have the positive delta, though. But by going aggressively, there's a good chance that we can hold him off. Maybe, 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 maybe. Not quite. Oh gosh, now we're going to swap and go back 2 positions and have to re-overtake them. Now there's no way we're going to catch those guys in front of us. Lap 68.
DRS is currently disabled.
Battery's empty.
Disabled.
Battery's empty. Bottas flew past Albon.
Has 3 laps to
We
go.
get up beside him, but we're a bit low on that battery. There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. Okay, Doohan's just half a second down. Doohan's got that chance to move forward now. We'll tell him to go overtake on, but we're going to continue to watch Pourchaire. We'll just keep an eye on Doohan as he heads down the straight if he can get up around Vettel, and does. Can he get Ocon as well? He's really close to Ocon. And he does. He's going to get both.
It's a stonking.
Double overtake for Doohan from 14th to 12th. Gasly is 3.5 seconds
Overtake
ahead.
is
As
available
long as he
if
doesn't make a
needed.
mistake, the race win is his. Pourchaire, no progress on that lap.
So what DRS?
Gasly and Ricciardo. It's going to be an Alpine 1-2 potentially. Just as we get up to speed. Just as we get up to speed. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, balanced. That's all you can do. Nothing left. Pourchaire. P10. That's it. That's it. Didn't even get to 9th, which was clearly possible. Doohan's going to hang on to P12. Not into the points. Man, oh man, did I screw today up.
Okay, checkered flag. Checkered flag.
It's okay. That's okay. It's about 50 mistakes fewer than Ferrari made over the last season, so my job should still be secure. Leclerc gets all the way up to P2 though, but at least the Red Bulls do not get up there, and we scored no points. That is going to do it for this episode though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.